Hi, Mr. Andrew here, and today we're talking distributive property, and this is a property that's often thrown at students at the beginning. They often call it the distributive property of multiplication over addition, and then later on they'll utilize it. So we're actually going to do both. We're going to learn and identify the distributive property, and then we're going to utilize it in conjunction with working equations. So here we go. We have a and then b plus c in parentheses is equal to ab plus ac. What does this mean? What does this actually look like when I work it with numbers is the question I'm asking everyone. So here let's just replace the a with a 3, the b with a 2, and the c with a 1. Okay, so if I did that, I'm going to have to again replace the a with a 3. Now this is ab, so this is multiplication. So I need to show that somehow. I'm just going to show it with parentheses. So 3 times 2 plus, and then I'm going to have 3 times 1. Okay, because that's a 3, and that's a is 3, c is 1. So here, what actually happened? We distributed the 3, and that's the verbiage you want to use. We distributed the 3. Distribute means to hand out. So we handed out the 3 to the 2. So I gave the 3 to the 2 right here. So 3 times 2. There's addition right here, so there's addition right here. And then I take the 3 and I give it to the 1. So there's another term. So you actually take the 3 and multiply it to every term of the inside expression. Okay, so 3 times 2 and then 3 times 1. And it's fine to make these little arcs. These arcs help people out a lot right at the beginning when they're learning to do this. So here, let's go ahead and prove that it's true. If I do this, I have to do parentheses first according to order of operations. So 2 plus 1 is 3. It's inside parentheses still. Have a 3 on the outside. 3 times 3 is 9. Okay, now let's see if this is equivalent. Now here, 3 times 2 plus 3 times 1, again, order of operations, I have to do the multiplication before I do the addition. 3 times 2, well, that's a 6, and then plus 3 times 1, that's a 3, and then you can probably see it from here, 6 plus 3 is 9. So this is in fact true, and this will work every single time. This property will always hold true. So here, let's transition away from just looking at a basic example. Let's utilize it in terms of an equation that we want to solve. So let's say we have some parentheses, and let's say it looks like 4, and I'm going to have a z, and I cross my z's. Z minus 1 equals 3z plus 2. So this is a little bit more advanced. The prior video about working two-sided equations holds true, but really what we have here, if I have parentheses, I'm told I have to work parentheses first. I'm told I have to work z minus 1. I can't do that. I cannot put those together. Those are not like terms. But what I can do is distribute. So I'm going to distribute the 4 to the z. I'm going to distribute the 4 to the negative 1. 4 times z is 4z. It's them two multiplied together, and we don't show we show multiplication by not showing anything between the number and the variable. And then 4 times 1 is negative 4, or 4 times negative 1. I'm sorry, I misspoke there. This is equal to, again, just the 3z plus a 2. So here I'm going to organize my z's first. So I'm going to subtract off the 3z, get rid of the 3z, because working with the 4z, that would create a negative number. Okay, and you'll see why in just a second. So if I subtract 3z here, I have to subtract 3z over here. I match it up with its like term, and then I just work it out. So 4z minus 3z is z, and I have minus 4, the equal sign. These cancel out, and then I have a 2, positive 2. So z minus 4, I ask myself, what is the opposite of minus 4? What is the opposite of negative 4? That's a positive 4. That's add 4, and I do that to both sides. So these will cancel. Z equals 2 plus 4 is 6. So z is 6. So, and I'm sorry that got cut off just barely. That is how you'd want to work that problem. Let's try an even more advanced one. Something that has double distribution. Or I guess I should say two distributive properties built into it. So here, let's see, let me grab this problem. 6 parentheses x plus 2 minus 3 x plus 1 equals 3. Okay, so here we go. We actually have two distributive properties. Okay, so here I'm going to just work them one at a time. You can technically, because of the way the order of operations works, you can technically do them both at the same time, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to keep it nice and simple, and that's the best way to do it early on. 6 times x and then 6 times 2, and I'm just going to throw a plus sign between them. So that's 6x, and 6 times 2 is 12. Okay, and I'm going to write down the rest of it. Minus 3x plus 1 equals 3. So now if I want to work it from here, I have to take this distribution next. I want to work this distribution. So here, I'm not just taking a 3 times the x and a 3 times a 1. I actually have to take the sign with the number. That looks like a subtraction sign, but what it actually really is to me, that means that 3 is negative. We're taking that 3 off. That negative association with the 3 needs to carry with the 3. So I take the whole thing and I multiply it to the x, I multiply it to the 1. So 6x plus 12 gets copied down. Minus 3 times x is negative 3x. Minus 3 times 1 is negative 3. This equals 3. So now what I can do is what I've done in a prior video is combine like terms on the same side. I see x's, which can combine, and I can see constants, which can also combine. So 6x minus 3x is 3x, 6 minus 3 being 3. And then 12 minus 3, well, that is 9. So I'm going to say 3x plus 9. And I'm just going to copy down the equal sign and the other side. From there, it's just a two-step equation. So I'm going to take care of the addition subtraction first. This being addition, I'm going to minus the 9, minus the 9. Remember to always do the opposite. That crosses out. 3 minus 9, that is actually a negative 6, because different signs, we find the difference of their magnitudes and keep the sign of the one that has more. The more being we have more negative than we have more positive in this situation. It's a little hard to say technically, but there we go. So here we go, plus 9 minus 9. We have that cancel out, and we have a 3x. 3x equals negative 6. So here I do the opposite of 3 times, and that's divide by 3. Divide by 3 here. I get x equals a negative 2. And this is my answer. So here we worked the distributive property, and we learned all about it. Sorry, I cut that off. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to email me. Thank you.